We are with Leslie Grinnell, and she is the owner of Eddie's Wheels. Tell us, how did this business come about?
Well, 35 years ago, my dog Buddha, who was my husband's blue Doberman, woke up paralyzed one day.
Oh gosh.
And there I was at home with a 3-year-old and a paralyzed 80-pound dog. So, of course, I immediately swooped her up, took her to the vet, and the vet said, you should euthanize her because what else can you do? So my husband was in Wisconsin on a job. He was a mechanical engineer. And so we talked on the phone, and as I was telling him what the vet said, that we should euthanize her, she started barking at me while I'm on the phone with him. And he said, well, she sounds very much alive, and she doesn't like that idea. I said, I don't like it either. And she wasn't in any pain, her back end didn't work at all. So in a few days he came home. He consulted with a veterinarian, looked at the skeleton of a dog, and came up with a design that supported the dog on her skeleton because that's the mechanical part of your body. Made her a wheelchair in the basement. First time I put her in it, she looked at me like, what's the matter with your back, Mom? You've been doing really well. And I said, well, Buddha, if you want to go to the woods, you have to use the cart. And she said, oh, the woods. Yes, I like the woods. She had a lot of prey drive. She liked to catch frogs. So we went in the woods across the street, and that's what happened. We walked in the woods every day.
So what happened after that? You took care of your dog, and then did other people start asking?
Well, it became a hobby for a couple of years. Eddie, we needed an income. We weren't looking to become self-employed. But our vet would occasionally tell us about a dog that needed a cart. And his boss at this company that he worked for had pugs, and pugs are very prone to spinal cord issues. So he encouraged him to use the shop at work to develop the product. And so he did. He developed the product while he was working for the engineering firm. So it went from weighing 40 pounds and being made out of steel to being made out of aluminum and weighing 10 pounds. And then 10 years later, his own body gave out, and he couldn't walk 110-degree factories that were the size of football fields in Brazil anymore. So he quit his job, and as we were going for our vacation to Cape Cod, informed me that he was going to start a dog wheelchair business.
And you said, oh, okay.
Okay, dear. Yep, that's what I said. Sure. So we did. We made a flyer, and we put it up in our chiropractor's office because our chiropractor used to treat our dog. And his bookkeeper said, where are you doing that? And I said, in the basement. And she said, you probably want to get him out of the house. I said, yeah, I do. And she said, well, I have this, I just bought a property up on the mountain, and there's this big metal building that's part of it, and I'd love to rent it out to you for whatever the taxes are a year. So she did. So there we were up on top of the mountain, looking over a field and a beaver pond in the most beautiful part of Shelburne Falls. And we fixed up that space, and that was our business incubator. And every company we called to get parts and materials from, when they heard what we were doing, they wanted to be part of it.
Wow.
Our metal supplier had a doggy daycare at his factory.
Who knew?
He was devoted to his golden retrievers, so he was all about helping us find exactly the right metal alloy that we could bend without heat. And he would drop 2 sticks off at our house in Greenfield until it got to the point where we were buying half a ton, so.
Wow. Wow.
So, it really felt like the universe was calling us to do this work, that it would have been really hard to resist.
Right.
The local newspaper put us on the front page, and the phone started ringing.
Yeah. Now, what year was this that you started?
1999.
99, okay. And so today, can you tell me how many different models you make, or are there like
We have a pretty
hundreds of-
deep product line. This goes into 3 categories: rear wheel carts, front wheel carts, and quad carts.
Okay.
And this is an example of a hybrid of the 2. This is a front wheel cart, and it has detachable rear wheels because the dog for whom this was built had luxating patellas and was a little unstable in her back end. So these can come on and off. So this is a little hybrid. Basically,
This
our
is a
product
small
line
dog.
is, yeah, this was made for a Maltese who weighed about 4 pounds. A big rear wheel cart, and it is hinged so it folds in half to fit in your car.
Oh. And
So-
did your husband do all of these designs?
Yes, he is now 77 years old.
Uh-huh.
He hand draws everything on graph paper and then hands it to the CNC operator who puts it into the CAD program there and makes
Okay.
the parts. So all these
Okay.
parts are made on the premises. The only things we buy are wheels, rectangular pieces of metal, round pieces of metal, fasteners, set screws, and padding. So those are the things we buy. Oh, and strapping.
Okay.
But everything else is manufactured here from scratch.
do you still do a lot of custom work?
It's all
or
custom.
everything's custom.
Every cart goes out with the dog's name on it,
Oh.
right there.
Oh, Maxwell.
So this was
Isn't that
Maxwell's
awesome?
cart.
That's great.
And very often when the dogs pass on, the owners will send the cart back for us to recycle. So we try and recycle as many as we can. But
Wow.
because all dogs come in different sizes and shapes, they have to match the measurements. So it could sit
Yeah.
here for a long time before we get one. But here they are. These are mostly used carts.
Oh, are these ones that people used and returned after the dogs passed away
Yeah,
then?
yeah. And
Okay.
when people come here for us to evaluate and measure their dogs, and we do meet our customers. We meet at least one a day.
Okay.
We measure them and we try them out in a cart.
Okay.
And that way they can rest assured that their dog is not the 1 in 100 dog that says no to a wheelchair. But every once in a
Oh.
while there is a dog that will say no.
Oh,
So-
okay. Now, so how many do you make in a year?
Between 1,000 and 1,500.
Excellent.
30 to 40 a week.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great.
And we ship them all over the world.
Excellent.
We just got an email from our customers in Tanzania.
I've been to Tanzania.
You have?
I have. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's weird. Well,
That's awesome.
there's a sanctuary in Tanzania, and they work with us, and they sent us dog measurements, and we manufactured the carts.
Oh, look at this. Oh, wow.
So this is the manufacturing. This is my stock of used carts.
So how long does it take you to fill an order from the time it's
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yep. This business has a guardian angel. It really
Yeah.
does. Everybody's got a dog. Everybody has a memory of saying goodbye to a dog before it's time because it couldn't walk anymore.
Really?
So, you know, how many 14-year-old dogs get euthanized that don't have to be? My dog lived 3 more years. Buddha was 10 when
Wow.
she became paralyzed. She used her cart for 6 months. Then she walked again.
Oh.
And then she lived 3 more years.
Oh my goodness.
So
Interesting.
sometimes these spinal cord injuries are temporary, just like they would be for a human being. But we don't give dogs the time to heal,
Yeah.
and we don't give them the supportive care they need.
Yeah.
So this is really just quality of life. Take the time to heal. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a joy. It's always important for the crew to know who they're building for, you know?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so we get photos, we get our orders through the internet, we get measurements, and we get photos. And then, so everybody knows who they're building for. Here's Bacon the pig.
Oh my goodness.
This is, we call this our clinic quad. It's for institutional use. It's adjustable for height and length. And what we found was that a lot of big dogs are prone to neck issues. And they go into major veterinary schools and emergency hospitals, and they have a $10,000 neck surgery.
Oh,
And if you're 150 pounds, you're asking a bunch of vet techs to move this dog around. It's really rough on the vet techs' backs
okay.
and dangerous for the dogs.
Yeah.
So you can put them in a squad cart. You can adjust it for dogs. This brakes on. You can adjust it for dogs from the size of a border collie up to a Great Dane. You can bring the cart all the way up to the last hole, and then you have a cart that's 21 inches off the ground for a Great Dane. You can adjust the length, and what's great is post-surgically, if you put a dog in this cart, it has a headrest also. You can do acupuncture. You can do your rehab right on the dog in the cart. You can take them outside and have them pee and poop outside, because these big dogs lose their confidence.
Yeah.
And then they don't participate in their rehab. So if you can give them back their confidence, get them outside, treat them like a dog instead of being stuck in a giant kennel and being manhandled, their rehab potential is kind of released.
Well, thank you so much, Leslie. This was wonderful.
Yeah, it's lovely having you.